let's talk about category league specifically, and finding well-rounded players versus specialists. Tell me how you weight them. I know we talked a little bit about Tyrese Halliburton earlier on, who's
Yeah,
one of the most well-rounded guys in fantasy.
right.
Talk to me about well-rounded versus specialists and kind of your position there.
Yeah, well-rounded is in baseball terms is the five-tool player who can provide the most value for you across categories. Um, typically we've seen some big men kind of rise up. Obviously Nikola Jokic is the best basketball player on the planet right now, and he's the best fantasy basketball player. That's not going to change. Joel Embiid still remains a top three pick because he can do so much efficiently, and I think that that's what you're chasing when you're talking about well-rounded players. It's the combination of production and efficiency. A player that's ascending up draft boards now, last year he was probably a fourth round pick. That's Mikal Bridges. His efficiency for what he's doing and the volume that he's going to get and that he already got as a member of the Brooklyn Nets, he sustained that value. So getting players that can give you defense, they're both side players. They play on both sides of the floor, so they'll give you defense and they also give you the offense. But then they also are just intelligent basketball players, high IQ players, Jalen Brunson type players. Um, those are the players that I love to target in fantasy, and you're certainly going to have your mix of category specialists. And I think that that's the beauty of doing head-to-head leagues, is that you can focus on the well-rounded guys probably early, because as you start to get a little bit more down in the trenches of the draft, the well-roundedness kind of goes away. So then you can start targeting people like, if you're light on rebounds, go get Steven Adams, because he's going to give you at least 10 rebounds a game, and he shoots a good field goal percentage, and he'll give you a block here and there. Um, but he plays a lot of minutes when he actually plays. Um, I talked about Buddy Hield earlier, 3-point specialist. Same with who else would give the nod for 3-pointers? Someone like who was it? Not Kevin Porter Jr. Klay Thompson. I mean, Klay Thompson's good for three threes a game, but you're not expecting much else. So I think that they hold a place in fantasy if you're deficient in other areas that the well-rounded guys don't cover for you. And you're not going to be able to get it. I mentioned Jalen Duren before. You need rebounds, go get Jalen Duren. You need rebounds, go get Mark Williams. Go get Clint Capella. Clint Capella is a guy that continues to get disrespected year after year. And I know that he's always on the trade block, but if you decide to go with guard and forward heavy early in the drafts, and then you're sitting in round 6, round 7 looking for a big man, Clint Capella will give you 10 rebounds. He'll give you almost a block and a half. His free throws stink, but he at least shoots a good field goal percentage, and he's playing with Trae Young, so he can catch lobs. So there's value in waiting to get these guys that can just win you specific categories or just add to those counting stats. Steals and blocks are definitely the toughest counting stats to obtain, but you can get the blocks on waivers probably more than the steals. So yeah, I would say start off with the well-roundedness as much as you can, and then once you get to the later rounds, then target the specialist if you're deficient in certain categories.